Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk about Season 2 of Doctor Who, now that we are halfway through the season. Of course, 8-episode season. We're 4 episodes in, of course not counting the Christmas special. Just looking at actual Season 2. And it's been pretty consistently good. None of the episodes have been bad. I would say Lucky Day is probably my least favorite. I'd probably put it C tier, which is average for me. Most of you know when I do like tier list and stuff, C is average. Certainly enjoyable enough. I didn't dislike it. I feel like we've had a nice variety of stories, which is nice. I feel like the performances have been good. Ncuti Gatwa feels very good in the role here. I don't always agree with what they do with his doctor, but he's been pretty good. They've written him pretty well this season. And Ncuti's performance has been good. I've liked Belinda. It took me a second to really warm up to her, but I am clicking with her more. It's nice to see Ruby again. It's nice to see Ruby's family again. Always happy to see Cherry again. So I do think this is a big step up from Season 1, which the first 4 episodes of Season 1 were a mixed bag, but it was really just Space Baby. Season 1 as a whole was a mixed bag. 4 episodes I liked, 4 episodes I didn't. But 3 of the 4 episodes I liked were in the first half, with me liking Devil's Cord, Boom, and 73 Yards. With only 73 Yards probably being what I would call a flat-out classic, or I don't know if masterpiece is right, but maybe masterpiece. I do love what it did. And of course my favorite episode being Dot and Bubble, the one we got after that. Both Dr. Light episodes. Even though Ncuti Gatwa, what little bit he's in Dot and Bubble, he's great. And Devil's Cord was good, Boom was good, without quite being classics. And that's how a lot of Season 2 has been. Now, we haven't had anything bad like Space Babies. I didn't really like Space Babies. Had a couple things I liked, but overall I didn't really care for it. We haven't had a bad episode yet. But I haven't had anything just blow me out of the way 73 Yards and Dot and Bubble did. Although The Well may be close. It's really hard for me to rank this season. Like, I don't know how I would do them from worst to best so far. Well, I'll think of that as the video goes on. But I am enjoying this season. I'm loving the fact that, one, it's been consistently good. They're 4 out of 4 for me when it comes to entertainment. Now, I don't know how a lot of these are going to hold up on rewatch. I think the first 3 episodes are going to hold up well on rewatch. Lucky Day, I'm not so sure of. Luckily, I'm not one of those people that can... just rewatch an episode 10 times, like, DW Fan 91, who's a fellow YouTuber. Fantastic guy. Love his content. But he can watch a video like a dozen, he can watch an episode like a dozen times. Or Paul Hu, another friend of mine, who can watch a video 5 or 6 times an episode. I can't do that. I don't know. I just can't. Not so close together. Not like within a week of release. Now, I do catch some of the reactors. Like, I just got done watching Jess from Seska Says reaction. And of course, so I get kind of Cliff Notes versions of the episodes after I've watched it. I'll do my initial watch, and then I like to hit maybe a couple of the reactors, and I've watched Jess's. So I get kind of a Cliff Notes rewatch of it, which is nice. But Lucky Day, which would definitely be my 4th place pick so far. I enjoy it. I saw the twist coming a mile away. If you saw my review on it, the little twist with Conrad, I saw that coming a mile away. I was quite pleased with myself. You could just tell there's something off about him. The episode does kind of choreograph that to you if you're paying attention with little things. The actor playing him does a good job when he's playing him in his kind of Clark Kent, nice, clumsy guy disguise, and when he's being his real self. The actor does a good job. I like the cast. Pretty much across the board in all 4 episodes, I enjoyed the cast. Visually, the season looks good. All 4 episodes, I like. It's like you can see where the Disney money is going. Visually, it's been really impressive in all 4 episodes. I like how consistently I've liked the visuals for this season, and the camera work and the directing, all of that stuff. I feel like villains have a cool appearance. Like the creature in Lucky Day looks sharp. I like it. Also, I forgot to mention in my Lucky Day review, Paul Jericho. I think I had to remember to add a footnote about it. We have Paul, not the Mind Probe Jericho. And I love when Doctor Who sneaks in classic Who actors. When the modern series sneaks in a classic Who actor, I like that. So that's kind of nice. I'm guessing he's the guy running the bar. The kind of old guy behind the bar, I'm assuming. And I liked seeing the Trinity Wells character back, who was, of course, the reporter for a lot of the Russell T. Davies 1 era. I like that that's a couple times now in the Russell T. Davies 2 era. They've snuck her in. I just like the little continuity there. Now she has her own kind of show now. I do like little things like that. So that was pleasing for me to see. I did like the line, too, when that one guy's like, who put you in charge? He's like, oh, you know what? You can go on outside, big man. I don't know why. I just love the way Millie Gibson delivered that line. I don't know how much Lucky Day will hold up on rewatch for me. I don't know why. It was nice. It was enjoyable. It was great performances. It's not one I'm going to go back to. Of the 3 Dr. Light episodes we've gotten from this era, it's easily my least favorite. I prefer 73 Yards and Dot and Bubble. I can see myself going back to it every now and then. It's another one of those episodes where I feel like Kate's written pretty well. But I just don't see myself going back to it the way I will the others this season. It's definitely my least favorite. Definitely a C-tier story. Not bad, but average. Now, the other 3 I've enjoyed, and they're a lot harder to rank. They would really just depend on my mood. I've enjoyed them all. Robot Revolution was definitely a great opener. I loved the retro futuristic aesthetics to it, the way it looks like, you know, how the 1950s would see the future, basically. Even the rocket ship being shaped like an old phallic rocket ship is hilarious to me. What they did with the AI machine, I thought was neat. Didn't really see that coming. I thought that was interesting. And I think it will hold up on rewatch pretty well. You know, I actually thought Alan was just kind of a throwaway character at the beginning, so it was neat to see them bring him back in the episode. I like the friction between the Doctor and Belinda in the first episode. I kind of wish we'd gotten more of that, but I enjoyed it. And again, it's directed really, really well. And I enjoyed the story, and it does a nice job of setting up the seasonal arc. Lux was a lot of fun. I love the Who Framed Roger Rabbit style of mixing animation with live action. And the fact that one of the people who was working on that animation also worked on Who Framed Roger Rabbit is just icing on the cake for me. I love the design of Mr. Ring-a-Ding. It's a wonderful design and a nice throwback to that old Cuphead style animation. Alan does a great job voicing him. I like the Doctor and Belinda. I like that there's still a little pushback with her and him at the beginning of the episode. I feel like she comes around to being on his side a little too quickly. But it's a nice adventure they have. I feel like the resolution of it is a little easy and doesn't quite make sense. Like, I get that it makes sense, but it doesn't quite make sense, if that makes any sense. It just feels a little, oh, that it? Oh, all right. So the ending's a little bit of a letdown. I do like the fact everybody survives. I liked the actress playing the mom looking for her son. I liked the fake out of the scene when you think the Doctor's getting arrested, which I caught on to that. I was quite pleased with that. When I was watching, I was like, this isn't real. They're still in. Even the fan shout out, which I found a little jarring with the Doctor Who fans, and it doesn't really bother me. And I'm kind of happy they survived. Who knows? Lux could be the creation of our universe, the prime universe we actually live in, where we're fans of the show. That could have been created by Lux, and we're just living in it still. It's a neat little fan theory. It's certainly an enjoyable episode. B tier. Probably B tier. Whereas Robot Revolution, I can't quite decide if it's low A tier or high B tier. Sometimes you need a tier in between A and B tier, like a macro tier or something. Like that little middle point where you can't quite put it. And then The Well could be my favorite. I can't quite decide. I really enjoyed The Well. I had some nitpicks with it, if you saw that review. Like the scene when everybody's kind of getting taken out at once seemed a little too fast. You know, we've got a lot of fodder soldiers here. We need to kill a few of them. let's have a moment where we kill a bunch of them, because the interesting thing about The Well being only, was it 45, 49 minutes, whatever it is the first half of it still does feel like a slow burn, kind of like The Thing, you know? People compare The Well, well, Midnight and The Well, to Alien and Aliens, but really The Well reminds me more of The Thing, because there's a lot of ambiguity going on in The Well. There's a lot of... The Well is one of those stories people are going to be talking about, I think, for a long time, but people are going to be forming theories about, much like The Thing. If you've ever seen the 1982 version of The Thing, which is probably the best version of The Thing, to be honest, as someone who's seen all three versions of The Thing, I would say that one of the reasons The Thing is so popular is people are still debating it today about what happens. It's a very ambiguous movie where you don't quite know who's the Thing or when they're the Thing, when they're taking over, how they're caught. You know, people still debate all that stuff to this day. And this episode reminds me of that, where people are going to be debating, arguing over the ending, over the middle, over what this thing is, how it evolved, whether it makes sense, whether it doesn't. It's going to be a very talked about story for a long time. I enjoy that about it. I have my own personal theories. I personally think that Elise, or whatever her name is, I think she's still her. I don't think she's possessed. I think she's still her. I liked the actress. Rose, I believe is her name. Fantastic actress. I like Rose a lot in this. She does a really, really good job. As I mentioned in my follow-up video where I talked more about The Well, she's having to do something very difficult. She's having to play a character that is scared while at the same time having to be a little scary for the audience. Because we as the audience don't know if we can trust her or not. We don't know if there's more to meets the eye than her, or if we can take her at face value, especially once you connect that The Well is connected to Midnight. This is the creature from Midnight, and we know that creature is manipulative and that it can possess people. Maybe has perfected that skill. So she's having to be this character that she's acting as being afraid and scared, but somehow still having to kind of spook the audience and give off that I don't know if I can trust you vibe. And she does a really, really good job with that. It's really impressive. Again, I tend to like the cast in this story, even if some of the soldiers are just fodder. They're just kind of there to get killed, let's be honest. With this runtime, you can't flesh everybody out. But I really enjoyed, again, the cinematography of this episode, the lighting, the atmosphere, the music. The music has been a key point. Even in Lucky Day, I don't think I really touched on that in that review, but the music played some really key points in what was going on. They do a really good job this season with the music heightening the tension that's going on screen. And we've definitely had some tension this season in good ways, good atmosphere, good tension. And I liked the suits. I really liked the suits they were wearing and the sets in The Well. So The Well could be the best one. I like the connection to Midnight. I know some people don't. And I was always one of those people that said Midnight did not need a sequel. I think I've talked about that in other videos. If you do it, don't do one. You know, leave the mystery. One of the reasons Midnight works is that you don't know what the entity is. And like so many franchises where they try to explain the mystery behind Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, it just makes the character and the franchise less. So sometimes not knowing is good. Sometimes the mystery is what makes it so interesting. I mean, the Midnight Entity is still just called the Midnight Entity because we don't know what the name of the thing is. And so my big fear of a sequel to Midnight was always, one, you'll weaken Midnight and make that episode less. Two, that you would just try to rehash that episode. And The Well does neither of those things. It's not rehashing Midnight. It very much, this is where the Aliens comparison comes in, whereas Alien is a horror movie in space, and Aliens is far more action-oriented. They're two very different movies with different tones and feelings to them. The Well does that, in the sense it is a completely different story, and it doesn't weaken Midnight. Midnight still stands well on its own, in my opinion. And I don't mind the creature being different. The creature it's been there for 400,000 years. It may have evolved in the sense that people change over time. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. I'm not really even the same person I was 5 years ago. So over 400,000 years, I can imagine something changing, perhaps finding new abilities, new ways, and new ways to manipulate things. This might not be the first time it's encountered people since Midnight. We don't know. It's 400,000 years. I mean, how did it end up in that well? Somebody must have trapped it down there at some point, figuring they at least locked it away so they could get away or something. So yeah, I really enjoyed the whale. I don't know. Again, A tier. Is the whale A tier? I might not put it there. Some of these stories are knocking on A tier. They might just be really high B tier. But the important thing is that nothing has been bad yet. We've had a C tier story, a B tier story, and then 2 stories that are either really high B tiers or I'd say lower A tiers. Sometimes you need sub tiers, like an A plus tier, an A tier, and an A minus tier. I might have to remember that. But it has been a good season. Good cast, good doctor, good companion. Very enjoyable. I've enjoyed this season. I'm looking forward to seeing what's next. I know the next episode is kind of the giant spider one. The little teaser for it looked interesting. The Interstellar song one, I got to admit, it looks a little silly, but you can't judge things at face value. It's not one I'm fired up about, but at the same time, the older I get, the more open-minded I am. And then, of course, I'm sure the final 2 episodes will be a 2-parter and be connected, so we'll see what happens there. It'll be great to have Mel back, that's for sure. So, yeah, I'm excited. I've liked this season. It's been consistently good, which is something we do not get in the modern series a lot, especially post-Series 5, where really it's only happened once. And I would argue that Series 12, which still had a couple misses, including the finale. So let's see if Doctor Who can manage an actual consistently good season. So far, so good. We shall see. So Season 2 of Doctor Who, now that we're halfway through it, 4 out of 8 episodes in. What do you think of it? What do you think of each individual episode? How would you rank them? Comment down below and let's talk about it. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. A link to my Amazon wish list is down there. A link to my Amazon UK wish list is also down there. My P.O. box is down there as well. If there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review, I love getting fan mail. Makes my day. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Colin Coney, Sam Venning, Unknown289, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons and my YouTube members. It's very much appreciated. Most importantly, thank you for watching.